Today we're painting Grimdark! Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of making/painting this Grimdark Cthulhu Lovecrafting terrain set I did some time ago. So without further ado, let's start the video.
And we are starting with priming.
Now when it comes to priming, I predominantly prime my terrain with airbrush. And the reason is that the replicant sprays are melting the foam, and sadly there is no workaround around it. Now previously I was trying to replicant my foam by doing this trick when you are holding the hairdryer in one hand and the spray in other one, and it basically went like this. You put a streak and immediately blasted with heat, so the solvents actually evaporated quicker before then they start dissolving the foam. But sadly with the blue foam it's not possible. It's very aggressive and immediately it starts eating through, so it's not worth the hassle. So airbrush is better.
Now before we immerse ourselves in the world of priming, I kindly ask you to subscribe. It will greatly help my channel grow and I would love to put more content for you guys. Now since we're priming with airbrush, you will need to go and do at least 2 full layers and make sure you target all the nooks and crannies.
And I'm mixing my own airbrush primer, and the key is you need to grab a very high quality opaque paint of your choice, because you can prime in any color you want. You can prime in black, dark brown, purple, green, whatever you like. So my colors of choice are Pro Acryls from Monument Hobbies, and these are just awesome. So put your paint in the cup, then add a flow improver, and the third secret ingredient is a bit of gloss varnish, and it will create this awesome looking mixture which you will put on your terrain via airbrush, and it will create this protective coat, and it's a very good way how to start your painting process.
Our second color of choice is bright neutral gray from Pro Acryl, and notice we are going almost zenithal, so from the up and from the sides, and we are leaving the bottom recesses black. Any gray color will do. Now third color of choice is ivory, and we are doing what I called a spot highlight. So we are choosing a different random spots, or not random, it's based what you feel, on the piece, and we are doing just a slight streak so we break the monotony of the gray scheme. Now I know it's tempting to overdo it, but please make sure that you target only a few spaces. Like basically the logic here is that the dark gray must be dominant.
Now dry brushing, everybody knows it, everybody loves it. What I'm doing, I have this thing, I've made it, it's called the dry brush palette, and it's basically a textured piece of foam with added texture via rock, and this will make sure that I am wiping my paints off the brush before I dry brushing, and it will retain a bit of the moisture which you need to prevent making this chalky effect which you get if you're wiping your brush on a paper towel. So I recommend you all, now you don't need to buy texture palettes from companies, you can make your own. It's really cheap, easy, and it will last you a long way. I have this one for years actually, and there are still pieces of texture coming through. Now it's hard as rock, but it's still serving me well.
Now dry brushing color of choice is white, and I'm wiping almost all the paint from the brush, and I'm gently almost dusting over the terrain piece, and I'm targeting just the highest raised parts so the details will pop nicely. Now our terrain is building nicely, so please don't overdo it. Please make sure your paint is almost all wiped on the palette and just go very lightly. Trust me guys.
Oil washing. I love oil washing, you love oil washing, everybody loves oil washing. And what kind of Grimdark terrain would it be if I did not use oil washes? So oil washing on terrain works exactly the same as oil washing on miniatures. Now the key is to use a low odor thinner and by it being low odor, it also is a bit weaker, and that means it will not melt your phone. If you would love to use the ordinary like smelly thinner from the color shop, it will eat through your phone quicker than you through your wallet in Warhammer shop.
Now here I mixed my own oil wash by mixing black oil paint with a low odor thinner, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm applying it evenly to the whole piece. Now this is very relaxing step, you have all time in the world, just apply it evenly on the piece. And please make sure you wear gloves, because this thing is really nasty when it gets on your skin. At the first glance it may not seem like, but big terrain sets such as this will eat a lot of oil washes, so it may not be financially acceptable for you. However, it creates a unique result, so it's worth a try, I would say. But prepare, it can be costly. And guys, all these beautiful scenic pieces I've used for this project, I sculpted them myself, and they are all listed on my Patreon. It's a good stuff. Have a look. Immediately after you finish applying your oil wash, now it's time for swiping the excess oil wash away. Now you can do it with makeup sponges, however, again, this might be kinda costly, and for such huge terrain piece, paper towels will do just fine. So make sure you go after every single piece on the terrain and swipe it off. And notice how the highlights of the bricks, for example, are popping out. And the same thing applies for the statue in front. Now, if you would have a trouble swiping it off the rocks, you just go and do it with the makeup sponges, it's not a problem. And second and last oil wash for this terrain piece is brown. And notice we are not applying it everywhere, we are just applying it on a few spots, and we are not swiping it away, we are letting it dry.
Pigment time. Now, I'm saying it all the time, and I stand behind my words that adding pigments to everything in hobby makes it instantly better, because pigments are just magical, and this is no exception. So if you want to learn more about pigments and how to cheaply make your own, I recommend you to watch this video, or here, somewhere. I've explained it properly there.
I've chosen for this project to make my own pigment powders by grinding the chalks. However, you can buy pre-mixed pigments from many color brands, and those are actually higher quality. So yeah, if you have a coin to spare, do it. So notice I'm applying it randomly to the terrain piece, and this is where the magic happens, because oils are not fully dry and the pigment powder starts blending with the undried oil, and it creates this awesome mixture of colors and a bit of darkness.
Okay guys, this is it. Now, before we do the full preview, I kindly ask you to subscribe to this channel. It will greatly help my channel to grow. And also, I would love to invite you to my regular streams. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and we are making terrain, sculpting miniatures, sculpting terrain. I'm talking and interacting with audience, and we are having lots of fun. So if you want to learn something new or just hang out, please join me. Now, without further ado, preview.